Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Steven Sumter, 6 years older than his opponent. NAJEE LOPEZ, 6'2", 79-inch reach. Most of the time, he has a physical advantage. Escudero won that one by majority decision.
You know, I like what Sumter said in the interview. He said, listen, I've seen holes, and I'm going to take advantage of them and knock him out. I like that confidence. And you saw that right away. He came out with a big straight left hand to the body of NAJEE LOPEZ. Very smart way to start the fight.
Also in that tough majority decision, you know, LOPEZ started out with, you called it on air, an educated lead hand. He's very good with the lead hand, but built up a lead and then had to, you know, kind of hold on in the middle, you know, as his opponent came back. And could it be that slow start from Sumter, waiting on that lead hand a little bit? Is that smart? Start a little bit slower, Paulie.
You know what? It's going to be a bit of a different type of chess match here with the southpaw. Sometimes lead hand is a bit complicated to use against a southpaw. You know, I believe it can still be used, but a lot of fighters, a lot of right-handed fighters will typically adjust the way they use their lead hand against a southpaw. We'll see how this thing kind of starts evolving. We do see an aggressive NAJEE LOPEZ trying to walk down Sumter. Backing him up to the ropes here.
And NAJEE's a good ring general. He's controlling the center of the ring. He always has the height and reach advantage of his opponents. He's very, very tall for the weight class. He's got that good educated lead hand. But Sumter, I mean, he's boxing well out of that southpaw stance. He's got a very good, tricky left hand that he's been letting loose, you know, to the body of NAJEE LOPEZ, which I think is very smart.
Against Yildo DePes today here at ProBox TV, his opponent was 6'5". He was able to floor him more than once en route to a knockout. So he has fought fighters who were taller. He's looked good against them. Right now he has a reach advantage and he's using it.
Oh, beautiful body shot.
Beautiful body shot. That hurt Sumter, it hurt him bad.
Yeah, Sumter holding on real tight there. He was looking for the moment to jump in there, doing what Good John didn't do last fight. Holding on when he felt the shot.
LOPEZ, a little trash talk in the ear. Roy Jones Rooster there, opening his hands up.
The physical pressure with these kind of shots, combined with that mental pressure too, as he's constantly in the face of Sumter, and it may start to pay dividends.
Sumter's trying to show his poker face, but man, those body shots stick with you.
And 50 seconds left in round number one. Doing the veteran thing though, hanging back, trying to get his win back.
Now, I think LOPEZ is being smart because he's felt some of that power on that left hand of Sumter. He throws a tricky left hand, so got to be careful early on.
But he's still staying in his face, still, you know, keeping at a proper distance where he stays protected, but at the same time continues to put that mental pressure on Sumter. So it's something that to keep an eye on too. That can also wear down an opponent. The constant mental panic. Good shot by Sumter, speaking of left hand.
Yeah, he times it really well. There's no fat in that punch. He doesn't telegraph at all. He lets that left hand go nice and smooth.
And NAJEE's kind of smiling about it. He's like, all right.
And know if we'd see it, but it looks like we're going to get to a round number two between these two undefeated fighters. Don't throw punches. And here is why, gentlemen.
You know, I talk about the educated left hand of NAJEE LOPEZ, but also he's got great fundamentals. 1, 2, 3, basic combination, jab right across over the top, leaves that left side open. That left hand found its home right on the mark, the liver shot.
Second round.
We begin round number two. NAJEE LOPEZ in the blue and white. Sumter in the white, blue, and black. Both fighters undefeated, but NAJEE LOPEZ a huge favorite in this fight. You see why in round number one.
Another thing about NAJEE LOPEZ, obviously he's got the physical talents, he's got the big amateur background, he's super talented, but he's been building his career on our air. So he's had no easy fights. Every fight, everybody has an opportunity to do damage, to win rounds. Here we see Sumter, another undefeated guy who's coming on right now. Yeah. So NAJEE's a very experienced guy for only having 10 fights.
One thing about ProBox TV, every opponent comes in, every fighter comes in with a winning mentality. They have a reason to believe in themselves. So you never really get those kind of fights where you kind of hit a guy a couple of times and he was already kind of has that half belief to begin with, where he just showed up for a check. So a couple of good shots and he's like, all right, I don't need this. This is too difficult.
Oh, big shot from Sumter.
And that's that big left hand again by Sumter. You mentioned that, champ. And then that's the thing about NAJEE's career. You know, every single fighter he's fought has believed they can beat him, and they've showed up with that kind of body language, and it's had to be NAJEE who's had to beat it out of them. And Sumter, again, is the same kind of guy. Yeah, he's kind of goes into these little peekaboo defenses, but he's looking at time Najee with hard shots and can be tricky.
Done much better with the power shot in round number 2. Big left hand from the southpaw stance. We talked about the fact that Lopez does tend to, extend his punches a little too long and leave openings for the counter shot.
You can see the power in Sumter's shots, man. He's explosive. He lands with good power. He's got a big knockout record as well. 7 KOs in his 9 wins.
One criticism I would have for Sumter, when he does land a good shot, he doesn't follow up. Kind of goes back to ropes, allows Najee to kind of dictate where the fight's going to be fought at. Good exchange here. So Sumter doesn't really take the lead after landing some shots. It's Najee who's controlling the pace, and that's why he's probably winning the rounds, even though Sumter does some good moments.
This is where Najee's really dangerous. When he starts running those numbers, letting his hands go, he's very good at finding openings in people's defense.
Being the boss, very important. When you know how to be the boss, but also you start to let your opponent know who's going to be the boss tonight in the ring.
He feels comfortable, you are in big trouble.
Yeah, once there's that understanding, once your opponent has that understanding,
well, there's
the fight
that silent
becomes a lot
agreement.
easier. Yeah, the fight
that silent
easier.
agreement.
And it's a
guys
lot.
Like
and when you have difficult opponents, it's harder to make them get that understanding. But you know what? Najee is understanding that psychological part of the fight in his maturation process.
Last fight out, once again, it was Marcos Escudero. That was in February. There was no agreement in that fight.
No.
Escudero fought to the end. I was in the stands that night. I was a spectator, and that was a great fight.
Escudero can fight. He's a talented guy from down here.
Good shots here. Numbers again, champ, like you said.
Going back to the body.
And Sumter trying to punch in between, guys.
You know, it seems like Sumter's a little more aware of the power of Najee. He's taking the punches much better.
Goes back to the rope. So if he's going to start winning some of these rounds instead of just having good moments, he's going to have to start dictating a little bit more and taking the initiative after landing a good shot.
Chris, something we hear all the time in the corner is, all right, you've taken the best. All right, this is round number 3. You've taken his biggest punches. Now you're okay. That confidence building, you've seen the worst. Is that what you tell your guys?
Well, I mean, sometimes in fights, I remember this. I've been hit with jabs in a first round that rocked me, and then I fought all the rest of the fight getting hit with big shots and never got hurt. Sometimes the shock value getting out of your system is hard.
See, there's something. Lands some good shots, and what does he do? He kind of goes back and waits, and now Najee's trying to start to walk him down again.
Nice short uppercut from Lopez.
And you see the difference with Najee Lopez. He lands the uppercut, and what does he do? He follows up and walks back to something. Big difference in the psychology of the fight and the approach to the fight, and it can make a difference on the scorecards.
Is that also, as you said, a level experience thing? He's fought higher guys, and he knows you can't let him off the hook.
It is. He understands how to control the fight a little better.
Always going to that left hook to the body, right to the liver.
And it's something that you do need to understand before you get to a world-class level regardless. The best fighters in the world don't have that understanding of dictating the ring. Otherwise, you're going to burn way too much energy, you know?
Lopez is excellent at cutting off the ring. He's got that size. He's long, he's tall, he's got long legs. He controls the center of the ring. He takes one half step and he cuts you off, and he lets his hands go.
Oh, good counter uppercut. Nice shot.
Good shot catching Sumter coming in.
I tell you, Sumter's the anti-good, John. Every time he's hurt, he does hold.
Yep. I love that lead uppercut against the southpaw. They don't see it. It comes from underneath the elbow. Oftentimes it's a shot you just don't see it.
You know, he used to do that to right-handers on southpaw. Zab Judah.
Yeah. Oscar had a really good one. He used it against Bruno Whitaker.
Yeah.
That lead uppercut.
Right now, great power punches coming from Najee Lopez. Seems to be, as you said, Paulie, the boss so far in this fight. Certainly the ring general.
Well, and for the optics to the judges, it really is a big deal. Sumter is a confident guy. He knows how to sort of be a headache, but does he know how to win the fight at this level? And right now, I'm not seeing that he understands how to win the fight.
What I do like about Sumter is he is willing to punch with Lopez. Lopez throws combinations, obviously. He's winning the moments, he's controlling more of the space, but Sumter is willing and able to punch in between some of those shots of Najee Lopez.
Later tonight, our co-main event, 10 rounds in the welterweight division. Nicholas Flaz versus Alfredo Escarcega Jr. 6-foot tall welterweight. He makes impression here on ProBox.
Najee doing a good job here of creating openings. Stepping around, looking for the shots. Wants to get back to that body because he knows he can hurt him there.
One thing about what Najee got for a tall guy, even for a tall guy, at close range, he knows how to keep those shots nice and short and really find the openings. Good shot selection as well. Stays really calm.
He's got great fundamentals, good hand position.
Nice uppercut through the center once again. Holding on at the bell is Steven Sumter.
It's another undefeated fighter, and this is the kind of thing that you learn these things. There's that uppercut, champ.
Yeah, there's that beautiful left uppercut, which is a great weapon against the southpaw. Leaned right into it, and now we see NAJEE LOPEZ going to work on the ropes. This is the very end of the round. Not trying hard, but he's got bad intentions. Right. You can see it in his face.
That's the line. And this man has had bad intentions from round number 1. We're on round number 4. Round we weren't sure we would see. NAJEE LOPEZ in the white, blue, and gold versus Steve Sumter in the white, blue, and black. Both fighters undefeated, but so far there's been one-way traffic in this fight. NAJEE LOPEZ successful with his power punches, great uppercut. Sumter has been in it, but hasn't found his path to victory yet.
Yeah, and if he's going to find a path to victory, he's going to have to make a bit of an adjustment. He's going to have to try to get into maybe another gear up at least to try to test LOPEZ a little bit.
Seems like Sumter's taking the route that I just got to catch him early.
Yeah.
He's not going to be able to outwork NAJEE LOPEZ, especially at this distance.
And that's the thing, man. Knowing how to be first and dictate the pace. It's the thing you got to know how to. You know how to do it against opponents, but you know how to do it against another guy who's coming to win. And this is where those O versus O fights kind of separate the top fighters from the pretenders.
Our own Teddy Atlas said once about the Spinks-Tyson fight, Spinks was winging punches. He was looking to get lucky, and that doesn't happen at the elite level. And the same thing with Sumter's like he's winging that left over the top, but not the setup, right?
Yeah.
He's going to catch an undefeated fighter.
You're hoping the guy just leaves you alone, you hit him with a shot. No, it's going to take a consistent amount of work to win at a world-class level and to win at a high level. And, the goal for you to get to when you have that on your record is to get to a world-class level. And you know you're going to have to get through guys like this. So these are the testing fights where you really ask yourself, do I really have what it takes to get to that next level? LOPEZ has shown it.
Just like this, the setup shots. Pitter-patting and boom.
NAJEE's being smart here, being economical with his punches, making sure that they count. Sumter holding on again. Gets hit with a big left hook along the ropes.
At a certain point, Sumter's going to have to ask himself, is he okay with just going the distance and trying to cover up and risk not getting knocked out, or is he going to maybe risk getting knocked out to try to win the fight and keep that O on his record? How badly does he want to keep the O on his record? He's going to have to turn it up a notch, as I said before, starting with the activity instead of just trying to be a headache for LOPEZ but not being a threat to beat him.
Champ, I think it's going to take a couple notches at this point. It seems like he's really slowing down his output. He's covering up more than punching at this point.
Also, you have a front runner who has been out in front this entire fight, continuing to do it. 30 seconds left to go in round number 4.
See, right here, you got to look for the catch and shoot. If you're as I was saying it.
Coach Paulie called it. What a turnaround.
Well, we spoke about what the game plan seemed to be for Sumter. Well, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, you got to punch in between those shots that LOPEZ is getting comfortable throwing. And as I was saying it, it's like he was in my head.
Another good left hand, couple good powerful punches.
Got hit again.
Hurt him again.
LOPEZ is hurt.
LOPEZ gets back in your face. Now it's time. You got the knockdown. You got to get in LOPEZ's face starting from the next round. Let's look at this knockdown here. Right shot.
You see LOPEZ getting a little too over the front foot, right? Getting over his skis, so to speak, throwing those combinations. Nothing's coming back, and then all of a sudden, that sneaky overhand left.
That actually wasn't a catch and shoot. It was a counter left hand over the top of the missed right hand by LOPEZ.
But LOPEZ's right hand was down, which the corner was calling for. Make sure you keep your right hand up.
Yeah, and the reason it was down, he didn't bring it back. He threw that right hand kind of lazily, and left it out there.
He was doing that early, and that's how he set up the body shots, kind of letting that right hand languish and then throw the left hook.
Let's see if Sumter looks to boss this round now. If you got the momentum you needed with the knockdown, are you able to carry that momentum into the next round, or are you going to let LOPEZ get back comfortable? Because remember, LOPEZ back in the corner. He went back there. Coach Mark Ferrer asked him how he is. He's like, I'm fine. So let's see.
Yeah, and Chris, in a situation like that where you said he's over his skis, a little off balance, more off balance than hurt.
No, he was rocked. He was definitely rocked. He got up. He got hit with some more shots, that rocked him. And we've seen LOPEZ hurt before. But one thing we know about LOPEZ, even when you hurt him, he's still trying to knock you out. He's not going to go there and try and box to a decision. He's still going to try and knock you out.
But Chris, what do you think about this comparatively passive approach of Sumter at the start of this round? They're trying to test the chin, see if your man's hurt.
Yeah, I don't like him giving so much time for LOPEZ. I think if there was a better opportunity for him to attack early, see how much those legs came back in between rounds, because you never know.
Yeah, Sumter talked about the history of fighters from Massachusetts. Of course, Marvin Hagler among them, Rocky Marciano.
Rockman Mass.
Yep, known for their grit and determination. Irish Mickey Ward now just waiting, I guess, for Lopez to once again overextend himself, but kind of waiting for lightning to strike twice.
Yeah, you see the blood from the nose and the mouth of Sumter also. He just threw out a jab that didn't have much snap on it. I'm wondering how much was taken out of him in these first 4 rounds.
You see Lopez not committing as much now. He's staying at middle range.
Yep.
He's a little more careful.
Oh!
Good uppercut.
Beautifully timed uppercut.
Yeah, picking his shots nicely nonetheless, though. Keeping Sumter at range, at bay.
Sumter, man, he's got that tricky left hand. He's got that tricky left. Now he's going back to what he's doing in the beginning. He's throwing it down low to set up the overhand shot.
Lopez certainly fooled me once, right? Not getting fooled twice. Not getting, as you said, Chris, over my skis again. A lot of blood out of the mouth of Steve Sumter. So far in round number 5, hasn't really pressed the initiative or tried to see if the cobwebs are fully out when it comes to Lopez.
That's not how he had success. It wasn't from pushing, it was from countering. And now, like you said, champ, NAJEE's not committing as much as he was.
Yeah, he's staying about a few inches back further, just a little bit. You know? He's being a little bit more aware. See, yeah, that's why he's being aware. If he was close as he was last round, that left hand would hit him again.
Good uppercut at the inside from Lopez.
The missed left hand by Sumter is exactly why Lopez isn't staying as close as he was last round. There's a little sharp left hand that lands, but not with as much weight behind it.
Looking for adjustments, and Lopez right now making the adjustments after being hurt in round number 4. He is back in the driver's seat of this fight. Hey, follow my strategy. Don't follow always what you think you should do. There's a reason this cornerman said, I'm in the corner. Round number 6, scheduled for 8. NAJEE Lopez in the white, blue, and gold. Steve Sumter in the white, blue, and black. Sumter from that southpaw stance, getting a knockdown in round number 4, but round number 5, looks like Lopez back in his comfort zone.
Yeah, other than the knockdown, it's been all Lopez all day long. Very dominant, controlling from the middle distance, and whenever he's been able to pin Sumter along the ropes.
Sumter's throwing some mustard behind those left hands.
He can punch, man. You can see it. You can see that right away.
Got to set it up a little better, though. You know, he caught Lopez leaning in when he got the knockdown, but if he wants to land the lead, he's going to have to disguise it a little bit. He's throwing it like he's throwing a baseball.
Sumter's corner is saying go low and set up that shot.
Yep. Lopez is going to see those.
That's what he said in his corner. I can see those shots coming. Don't worry, coach.
Oh, good body shot again.
I mean about his sector entrance. Lopez knows how to use it. That little double left hand short, double jab, right hand hook to the body. Disguise the entrance with the split double jabs.
Sumter's an explosive guy. He's got some hand speed. I'd like to see him busier.
You see why he is undefeated up to this point. But he has needed more tonight. That hasn't been in his playbook.
NAJEE just has a much deeper toolbox.
I wonder if there was a prop bet for a Sumter knockdown of Lopez, you know? We talked about that.
It would have been a great bet. Into the odds in the beginning.
Oh, good left hand.
His 4,000 favorite was Lopez. Plus 1,400 for Sumter.
Yeah, which was a bit harsh, I think, on Sumter.
Yeah.
Sumter showed up to win, man.
And especially because we've seen Lopez hurt in the past.
But I tell you, man, I notice when you make competitive fights, the odds makers get confused. As boxing spoils them so much. Even with the Riyadh fights, man, there's a lot of upsets, man.
The whole card was they beat Vegas.
I tell you, the boxing odds makers have been so spoiled with boxing that all of a sudden now, when you got networks making competitive fights, they're thrown off all over the place.
Not used to working for a living. Our boxing odds makers. Oh, right now Lopez going to work in the corner on Steve Sumter. Remember, this is where Sumter had success in round 4. Lopez got aggressive.
Sumter's shown some good durability because he's taken some heavy shots. And Lopez definitely has power. He's got great knockout percentage. You've seen him lay guys out here.
I think Lopez was smart there in that when he had Sumter in the corner. You can either be too close or you can be too far out for Sumter to be effective, or too close for Sumter to be effective so that he can't get leverage on his shots. And there, on the inside in the neutral corner about 30 seconds ago, Lopez knew how to be just close enough to where Sumter got no leverage on any of his shots.
Well, Champ, you said it, you know, for NAJEE Lopez, even though he's tall and long, he's a very good inside puncher.
He throws shots short.
An exciting fight. Actually, we've had both guys on our air. Both are very exciting fighters. That's an excellent matchup.
Yeah, Sriracha's a dangerous guy, too. Knows how to
Very
fight.
talented, yeah. And I think Palmetta was an Argentine national champion. You know, even he had a good amateur
Great
background.
fundamentals.
Both guys have really good amateur backgrounds.
NAJEE Lopez, 10-0, taking on Steven Sumter.
Oh, beautiful time.
First knockdown for Lopez. Call the slip.
Oh, really? Wow.
It'd be interesting to see that.
I agree with you. I thought that was off.
Oh, I thought that was
hook.
a beautiful, beautiful counter left hook. A half step back, right over the top.
Little check shot. Referee says it was a slip.
I'd like to see that again. That looked like a good, clean shot. We'll see.
Instead of a knockdown in round number 4 for Sumter, it has been all NAJEE Lopez. Oh! Because of combos just like that.
Oh, good body shot in there, too.
He's always sneaking that left-hand body shot.
Right around the elbow. Gets it in there real nice.
See, Sumter is dangerous in spots. Lopez, as I said a few rounds ago, understands how to control the fight.
Warning, leading with the head. That's going to happen. Southpaw versus Orthodox.
Well, Lopez has so many ranges. You can fight from the outside, you can fight middle distance, he can even smother you and throw short punches from the inside. Nice job to feint to get something to break his stance.
Yeah, you can break position with the feints. Feints are an underrated weapon for a lot of guys. You know, like Lopez, especially a guy with the speed of Lopez, the feints can make that speed extra deadly.
Oh, Sumter just looking for that one shot. As we said, for lightning to strike twice.
Nice angles.
Yeah, I was going to say to the words out of my mouth, a good angle changes.
Creating openings. I love that.
We talked about pawing away that hand as well, Paulie. Pawing away that hand.
You see what he did there? He got real close so Sumter can't get too much leverage, and then he threw the uppercut. Changing angles, changing ranges, even at close range. Finding the punching.
Textbook stuff.
And again, you see cuts off the ring here. Again, knows how to win the round. He knows that he's the more consistent of the two fighters. Sumter knows how to be a headache, but Sumter hasn't learned to win at this level yet. He's undefeated at this lower level, but if he's going to get to the higher level, he's going to have to learn how to win fights at this level, and it takes consistency.
I always call that winning the moments. You know, fighting the in-between stuff. Because at the highest level, at the championship level, that really matters.
Win seconds, win minutes, win rounds. That's what they teach you as you move up. You guys know that better than anyone. As you said, you know, Sumter's had moments, hasn't strung them in the minutes, hasn't strung those in the rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't really give him much of this fight other than the knockout.
Yeah, this is one of those maybe wide scorecards, but really a tougher fight than competitors have seemed. Yeah, Sumter earning it.
Knockdown or slip, you guys judge.
Let's see it. Yeah, I think Sumter comes in. Yeah, it's a cupping shot.
That caught him. I mean,
yeah,
he was off balance because of the referee.
Jimmy, we got to give Mr. Baldhead on our chat a shout out because he's a super chat, and he says NAJEE Lopez uses jab. Biggest issue is when a good fighter doesn't use his jab. You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you, but sometimes guys kind of forget about the jab a little bit against southpaws. But when Lopez has used it, I mentioned a couple of rounds ago when he had that deceptive double jab to disguise the entrance, he sets up some good combinations on the entryway. So good observation by Mr. Baldhead. Yeah, I agree with it.
You know,
good body work, good uppercut with that lead hand, but not a lot of jabs.
It's funny, the round that NAJEE got dropped, he actually came out and was jamming really well.
Yeah.
And then he got over his skis a bit when he was in the corner.
And even some of those entries, like I mentioned, as a matter of fact, when I said a couple rounds ago, I was talking about how Sumter needs to be deceptive on his entry, and he's not. And then NAJEE right at that moment had thrown that double jab to disguise the entry and disguise the right hand and the left hook to the body that was initiated with a double jab. So when he does use the jab, it does protect him too.
I will say, I would have liked to see more of what NAJEE's doing right now in this fight, where he's able to get on his toes a little bit, box, be athletic, use that jab, set things up, hit the guys with shots they don't see like that.
So you get knocked down will remind you to get back to the basics.
Back to the boxing.
Once again, has done well in 10 rounds, but will he finish with a knockout? Has 8 in his 10 wins so far.
You can tell NAJEE wants to stop it. I mentioned that earlier. Even when he gets hurt in fights, he still wants to finish it.
He could coast in this round number 8, but he is not.
Well, guys, it is a smock-worthy fight. The smocks are out. We got blood from both men under the eye of Lopez, from the nose and the mouth of Sumter.
They earned their money tonight.
Like you said, Jim, it's a sneaky competitive fight. Probably not going to show that on the scorecards.
Sumter still whipping some bad intentions there.
He's got,
a sharp little uppercut from Lopez.
Good selection of left uppercut there.
And again, you see Lopez follows it up, guys.
Question is, you talk about the follow-up, champ. Will he follow up and look for the knockout? 45 seconds left in the final round.
His face is the best. Those uppercuts. He got the nose and the mouth bleeding.
But that's been the difference, guys. I just think Lopez knows how to follow up a good shot landed with being the boss and around. Sumter will land some, have a good moment, and he won't follow it up and take the initiative going forward. I think that's been the thing that has separated these two guys tonight.
We talked about that hidden agreement. You guys just gotta say, all right, this is your night. Sumter seemed like he was on that way, and then he scores a knockdown. Oh!
Beautiful
He's
combinations.
hurt.
Final 10 seconds of the final round.
Why is Lopez able to do this? Because Sumter doesn't punch back. Sumter is not shooting back in between the way he was trying to a couple of rounds ago that led to the knockdown.
Despite the efforts of Lopez, this one will go the distance.
But also, I don't know if he did punch more, if he would have made a difference in this fight.
True,
NAJEE Lopez is an excellent fighter. We saw the distance control from NAJEE right away. We saw some big shots. Sumter was setting up the left hand early on, going low to aim high. But whenever Sumter's back was on the ropes, NAJEE Lopez was able to unload and land some big shots. There was a good left hand there from Sumter. There's that beautiful lead uppercut to the southpaw Sumter.
Yeah, overall it was a performance when Lopez controlled the fight, but every once in a while Sumter will let him know, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
Chill out,
Bang.
don't get too comfortable. And that was the biggest moment that he let him know.
Right on the money.
Don't get too comfortable here, fella.
Spun the head around of
That was not
NAJEE
an
Lopez.
off-balance shot.
No,
Hit him right in the chin.
That was a beautiful left cross across the chin. Beautiful shot. That's the thing. Sumter was tricky throughout. He was landing shots here and there. It just wasn't enough.
Yeah, there was one that's not called a knockdown, but here it kind of looks like a little slap, especially on a southpaw. You kind of push them down with that lead hand cup.
Probably a good call by the referee there.
Again, those uppercuts were sneaky. You talk about a lead hand uppercut against a southpaw champ. NAJEE Lopez was very effective with it tonight.
Saw the damage to the face of Sumter.
For your winner, by unanimous decision and still undefeated, NAJEE Chino Lopez!
NAJEE Lopez moves to 11-0.